And now we'll talk about kaphas. So, a kapha pacifying diet, which is a springtime diet. And we want to focus on the springtime diet because it helps to reduce the buildup of mucus, helps for lethargy, and helps for that slow digestion, which kaphas tend to have. We want to remember kapha is that which builds things. So it creates stability and structure. And we want to do things to help keep that managed under control, not to necessarily deplete it unless it's absolutely necessary to draw some of that energy out, but more so to stabilize it so it doesn't grow too much. That's where the weight gain comes in. So, exercising daily is very important. This means that getting up in the morning and exercising during the kapha time of day, which is 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., and I'll talk about that in the next lecture. But this is important because it moves some of that stagnant energy out. And for most of us, we should exercise in the morning. It's when we'll have usually the most energy to exercise. We'll definitely have the most stability because of the time of day. But for kaphas, it's especially important. And then varying your routine from time to time. Kaphas tend to get into a routine. Once they do get into a routine, they get into a routine and they always do the same routine. So they wonder why they don't see any results or that their body doesn't change and they continue to gain weight because that change is important to kind of trick the body into something new. They need to wake up before the sun rises. So this is relative to where you live in, according to the hemispheres. So if you live in the northern hemisphere, uh, winter time's a little short. So getting up at 8 o'clock is not the best time. So you want to focus more so on the time of day. So couples should get up before 6 a.m. Not much later. They sleep in much later. They're going to tend to be more lethargic and have less energy for their day. No naps during the day. So again, avoiding naps because again, what it does is it creates more of that stability and the lethargy and the feeling of being tired. And we want to keep them light and moving. They should eat lighter meals in the morning, not necessarily skip breakfast, but a lighter meal in the morning. So maybe a handful of fruit or maybe a little bowl of fruit to be able to just have some energy, but not go to starvation or not just drink coffee in the morning. And then in the evening, also having a small meal. So having that small supper. So suppers translates as something a little bit extra. So we want to eat that small meal in the evening. And then the biggest meal in the middle of the day where they can take more risks and they can eat more food and allow their body to use the qualities of the middle of the day, the heat of the middle of the day to be able to digest food. All right, so there we talked about Vata, Pitta, and Kapha and some of the things you can do to balance. So we'll go into improving digestion. So to improve your digestion is kind of the overall qualities, not as specific to each constitution. So improving your digestion, you want to eat in a calm and settled environment. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go and eat in your own room by yourself with nobody around, but eating in an environment that's supportive to digestion, meaning eating at a table, not standing up and eating in the kitchen, not eating in front of a TV, but eating maybe with your friends and family, good conversation versus intense conversation. The intensity of the conversation will affect your digestive system. Never eat on the run. So eating in your car, uh, quick eating and then running out the door. The idea is to have a few moments to be able to relax afterwards. So to be able to sit and breathe, not dinking around on your phone, not on your computer, not at your work desk. So the idea again is to really separate the different parts of your day. So especially eating. Eating is really important. Sipping on warm water throughout your meal. So hot water, warm water, not cold water. Cold water actually slows down digestion, which is not a good thing. And not drinking too much water before. So not drinking a huge glass of water before, but 20 minutes before you can have a nice sized glass of water. Just make sure that it's room temperature or warmer. Eating a lot of freshly cooked foods and prepared meals. I do well, now it's a little bit different during the COVID thing, but I do meal preparation on certain days. So when my life gets back to working at the studio again, what I'll do is I'll take my meal times and break them into the week. So Ayurveda has a rule that all meals should be fresh, It's not all that realistic unless you're home all the time. And even then, it's very difficult. So what I've found that works pretty well is it's a 24 to 48 hour rule that I have. So I cook on Sundays, Wednesdays, Fridays for the next couple days, and then have to eat that food within that time. And usually it creates enough variety for me, or I just change kind of the side to go with it. So then I travel with my food. My food goes to the studio with me so that I have food. And if you get one of those little crock pots, they make these little portable crock pots that have an insert that goes in. They're really, really good for making convenience for eating at work. So just a little hint. Um, and then making sure that you chew your food and be mindful of the taste, smell, and texture. A lot of times we just shovel it in to get the food into our body so that we have something in our stomach, but really start to taste your food. And then you might realize what the food is actually doing to you. And then leave about 1/3 of your stomach empty. So making sure that you're not overeating. Last part, daily routines. So overall daily routine for most people, unless you have very specific needs or very, very specific imbalances, that's where we would take into consideration certain types of yoga, certain types of pranayama, certain types of food. But this is a general routine layout. So this is something to just start with right away, even if you don't know your constitution. So wake up before 6 a.m. Usually at 5:45 time is a really good time because a lot of times our sleep cycle can actually dip into deeper sleep around 6 o'clock or a little after. So hitting that high point so your body can wake up naturally versus using an alarm clock or any other sort of device to be able to wake yourself up. Drink about 16 ounces of water, room temperature or warmer, hot lemon water. Lemon water is really great because it helps to alkaline your body. So in the morning, your body is the most acidic from detoxifying while you sleep. So drinking lemon water helps to alkaline it. It sounds a little odd because lemons on the outside are acidic, but on the inside are actually alkalining. Clean your face, mouth, nasal passages, gargle salt water. This all helps for your senses, cleaning your senses. Also, putting oil in your nose and in your mouth. So, oil pulling became really popular a few years ago. Most of us have been doing it for a very long time that are in the practice, but it does help for your teeth and the health of your mouth. Massage your body with oil. So this is called Abhyanga. You can do a long Abhyanga practice if you want to, but I would suggest that like in the evening, I take my shower and that's when I put oil on my body, but I do a light layer of an oil that I really like. So I just have a nice smell to go to bed with. And the oils are very calming for the nervous system, so they can help you sleep. If you shower in the morning, like if you go work out and then you shower in the morning, then what you can do is just put a little bit of oil on your skin so that you don't get everything all greasy. But if you use a lighter oil, your skin will absorb it just fine. And I can make a bunch of suggestions. If you have questions, you can contact me. The next part would be doing yoga and meditation, exercising, so jog, walk, exercise most days of the week. I would recommend that when you get up in the morning, you do your meditation, you drink your lemon water, you clean out your mouth, your eyes, your nose, and then you go outside for a walk. Even if it's just 10 minutes of walking outside, it helps to set your circadian clock. So your circadian clock is your sleep wake cycle, so your daylight cycle. And this has an effect on how you wake up in the morning and how you go to sleep and sleep at night. This can be a huge benefit just doing a little walk in the morning. Nutrient dense breakfast. So eating breakfast before 9 a.m. Eating nutrient dense doesn't mean the same breakfast for everybody. So a pitta is probably going to eat a much larger breakfast than what a kapha is going to eat. So that would depend on your constitution, but just eating nutritious foods for the season would be ideal. And then going into noon. So your noon meal should be between 11 and 1:30 p.m. This should be in a relaxed environment. It should be the largest meal of your day. If you find that it's one of your smallest, then you want to change this. So adding a little bit extra so that you don't get hungry in the afternoon and that you don't snack in the afternoon. The idea is not to create any snacks unless you've been told by a professional otherwise, especially an Ayurvedic practitioner, because we do sometimes recommend that people do, but it all depends on what's actually going on, because there's some health concerns sometimes for people that only have 3 meals. Walk, and if you can take a walk or relax a little bit after your noon meal, that's a good idea. So even if you're at work and you can just walk in the hallway or go out for a little bit of fresh air right after you eat, that's really good. It'll help boost your energy. It'll help stabilize the food a little. So that's a good idea to be able to get into. And then afternoon meditation, evening meditation would be even more important. So when you're starting to wind down for the evening, doing a yoga nidra or doing some pranayama, some breathing techniques, or meditation to help calm your nervous system down or detach from work. You want to eat supper between 5 and 7 p.m. and make sure this is a lighter meal. So this isn't going to be the biggest meal of the day. This changed during the Industrial Revolution. We used to eat our largest meal in the middle of the day, and those of us that are farm kids, we probably still always ate our biggest meal in the middle of the day until we moved to the city. But the Industrial Revolution made the biggest meal at night because that was when it was family time, and the noon meal was a sandwich or something easy. Well, food was designed so that your noon meal was the largest meal, and then the leftovers were made into a soup at night, a little something extra. So, soup. And we want to try to get back to this because it is definitely healthier, and our digestive system is much stronger in the middle of the day than it is in the morning or in the evening, because those are both kapha times of days. That's another lecture. And then we go into winding down for bed. So make sure that there's at least 2 hours before you go to bed between your evening meal, so supper, and the time you go to bed. And you want to go to bed no later than 10 or 10:30. Like 10:30 is pushing it, but 10 o'clock is an ideal time or earlier. And then give thanks. So give a little thanks to a little gratitude to the things that went well, the things in your life that are going good, the things that contribute to your life, because we all have so much to be grateful for. And sometimes it's hard to see it when life gets a little bit stressful. So there's the basics of Ayurveda. I'll have more information coming up and more lectures coming up on different topics. And you can contact me. My website is whenshifthappens.org. I have a membership on there that will be up on April 21st. So I'm really excited about that. And then there will be more information about a lot of different topics: nutrition, hormones, immune system building, and then programs to help support you along your journey. So if you have any questions, you can email me through my website, whenshifthappens.org,